we meet. Welcome. Now I'm going to have a reading for Aries, Sun, Moon and Rising. It might resonate if you have your moon sign in Aries or your rising sign, ascendant in Aries. So Aries, let's see. I see that some of you in your early past have been very much up in your head that this is actually in the early past your own card that's coming there. And it can stand for your father and that kind of authority, you know. And maybe some of you have been having trouble with authority, or you have been having this authority aura around you, that you have tried to be the authority in your own life, and that because many of you might have been a little selfish, and that has led to some great consequences for many of you. But I see that many of you have felt that you have the world in your hand, and that many of you have had a very strong, ambitious, goal-orientated, and have been fighting for a good cause. And many of you have done a little self-realization. There is some things that you have discovered by yourself that you might now learn to embrace more, even if that is your masculine side or your feminine side or your outer or inner authority. You have found something worth fighting for. And I see that many of you at this time now in February will focus a lot of learning new things, go a little more outside yourself, because you might have been focusing a lot on yourself, and now you will reach out. Maybe you have a teacher, someone very wise, that you will learn some new skills from, and that you have to take, many of you have realized that you have to take responsibility, and many of you will find joy at this time now in February over work and this positive duty, that you will feel like you have a lot of reward by doing. And that you now are more focused outside yourself. Because, as I said, you might have been a little egotistic. So, and in your own head, maybe some of you even have been struggling a lot with headaches, also migraine. But and that you have been triumphing your way as the only way, and now you are starting to learn and experience the happiness by cooperation with and partnership and learning from others, that the world isn't just surrounding about you, and you are not the only way. And that is something that many of you Aries have been, and will now in February, the month of February, realize and find joy over this cooperation and this work and learning new skills. And that you will be more open and vulnerable and humble, I mean, in regard to how you prepared your work, and take it more seriously. You should you should also trust advice you get in this period from someone around you that is very wise. You should listen to their advice. And you might be doing that more now than you have been doing in the early past and until now in February. So this month it might be that you will listen more to what other people give you for advice. And that you, at this time, many of you Aries will create something that might be quite big in the future. And this will be a very good time for group work, you know, for many of you that has Sun, Moon and Rising in Aries. Group work will be a very joyful and good thing in February, the month of February. So you should be more outside in the nature, and you should live, at least if you live in a city, it can be difficult, but try to be more in harmony with nature, and to exercise and get in shape. You should prioritize your health now in the month of February, that many of you might even start to exercise or take care of your body and health now. And you will find joy in doing that, Aries. My advice to you, Aries, is to bring love into every occupation and action you do in the month of February, because that will come back to you big time. So try to go outside now from your head, not just be in your head and your own emotions, but this will give you a lot of joy by going into partnership, your colleagues, maybe friends and so on, family. This is a time where you can learn some new skills and, as I said, take care of your body and health. Many of you might have just started or will start in February to exercise, or maybe go to a sport place, you know, that I don't know what is that in English, you know, where you exercise and lift weights and so on. You know what I mean. That will bring you a lot of joy, and you will gain a lot of good things by taking care of your body and health, and living in harmony with nature. And I see that many of you are very focused on money now in February. Many of you might even be a little too focused on money, or might worry a lot about money. But there is also a person that you are thinking about And for those of you that are young, this person is you. But if you are about 30 years old, this can be your child. Or if you are young, this can also be your partner that you are thinking about, or someone young and stable. And I feel like mentally at this time and emotionally that many of you Aries signs will be in need of some mothering, you know, that your mother might be a lot of help at this time. And I can sign under that because I'm a mother to an Aries myself, so maybe some of you might be, if you are in a stable partnership, many of you Aries might be thinking about being a mother, or might even soon be a mother. I feel for many of you Aries signs, it might be this this theme emotionally and in your mind about being a mother. And your own mother might be very important to you this time in February. Hopefully, most other times too, but especially the theme mom. I see many of you might have just become a parent or are going to be a parent or thinking about becoming parent. And you can be very focused about your child or becoming a parent, as I said. So I feel like many of you Aries, as I said, in this period in February will like very much to receive knowledge and questioning about other consequent relationships and their value. You know, you will focus on the value of your relationships general this time in February. Maybe many of you at this time also will be very good at catching the symbol in earthly happenings, you know, in earthly actions and so on, that you'll be very, very great at catching the answers and the knowledge in earthly happenings. And that you feel, and many of your Aries signs, sun, moon, and rising, will at this time feel like everything has a deeper meaning, and this will be quite obvious. And if this is new to you, Aries, that listens to this will be a very stable time. You will find a lot of peace and calm and harmony in seeing things like that, you know. And many of you might in this time feel a deeper feeling about how the Mother Earth is having it, you know, her condition. It will be very important to you, and you feel, if you know, if the Earth is going bad at this time, this will be a time now in February that you will feel this very deeply, how it's going with the Earth we are living in. And you know, Aries is a fire sign and a masculine sign, and this time it might be that you communicate feministic values and terms, that you will be careful, more feminine in your way of thinking. And as I said, this time you will be very connected to Earth. And you will actually feel, many of you Aries signs will feel the condition of the Earth. And you are hoping this will be a good time to exercise and get physically strong. And if you're taking chances like Aries like to do, you will have to be careful, and you might look at it a little deeper and more emotionally than you used to. And this will be a time where you see clearly, Aries, what you have to do and what needs to be done at this time. Many of you, I feel, if you are not just focusing on children and becoming a parent, or have just become a parent, work and money is very in your mind, as I said, and that is something you might have had a lot of thinking about in January too. But I feel like now in February you will be more stable and more in harmony with and think about money and work, like a necessity to save the future and secure the future, I mean. And that you are very less selfish than the Aries sign is reputations to have, and that you will find this enjoyment now in being there for other people that you care about. And if you do that in this time, you will have that payment back later, I mean, payment not in money-wise there, but if you do good deeds and the things, taking care of people you love now, that will come back to you big time later. Everything that you do that is good and in good deeds at this time, Aries, will come back to you big time. You will not regret not being selfish. Not so much in your head, but more focusing now on the outside. It can be many things that had led you to be this drawn back and in your mind, and I feel like this is the time where you finally can start placing your steps outside yourself, and with very good rewards for doing it. It's not that, by putting effort into people you love, it always, when you give, your hand is open. And if you are just have an open hand to just receive and never give, giving and taking is very important here. And this time you might be a little selfish, and whether that's very little selfish or much selfish, I don't know. You know that best yourself. But many of you will have this regarding yourself, that it will give you more now to have this focus on the people you love and give from yourself and help them and talk to them and get advice from them. And all this will bring a lot of joy and harmony and pleasure to you at this time now in February month. This is the time for you to step out of the hermit mode or the selfish mode, if I should be harsh. But for many of you, if you are not receiving my advice by me saying that you have been egotistic or selfish. Let me put it like you have been in the hermit mode and inside your mind. And now it's the time for you to put your sights and feelings and actions outward. And you might like to play by the rules at this time in February. And it might be hard for many of you to how can I put it? It will be difficult for many of you to accept people that is not sticking to the rules in social gatherings, you know. And as I said, many of you will have this unselfishness and like to be there for someone else, whether that's your friend and family and partner and children and parents, you know, and family in general. This will be a time where you really appreciate this and the need to do something very worthy will be very joyful for you to do, you know. This group activity and your work and your colleagues and family and friends and all that will, of course, those that you love will, it will give you so much joy, Aries, this time. Step out of your mind and into the arms that are waiting for you there, whether that's your partner and family and friends and the people you love and that loves you. And the warning here that you are getting now in February is to not do one thing and do another, you know, or say one thing and do another. This is a time where you should stick to what you are promising and not promise someone something that you can't keep up with, you know, that you should be careful about being unstable because of, you know, earlier actions. And this might be a time where you feel like if you are the typical Aries that is a little egotistic, you know, that you should be careful about trying to fool other people and lie to them and not be a man or woman of your words. You should not be stealing or trying to fool someone at this time and this period, because that can fall harsh, very harsh on you in the later time. Not even, might not feel the consequence of that in February. It might come later also, because this is a time where you should be have this group mindset, this giving and taking care of and nourishing and getting in harmony, exercise, taking care of your health, feeling in one with nature. You know, this should be your focus at this time. And as I said, be very careful if you have a tendency to lie, because your lies will make you lose control or lose things and people that are very, very have a lot of value and that you love a lot. This is a time you should be very, very careful to run with lies, to stick to the truth. And as I said, be a man or a woman for your words and what you say. So not say one thing and do another. And I feel like many of you in this time is very, I feel this fear of losing control. Be careful about starting projects or doing things that you don't know how it could end, and do it with the, if it's negative, you should stick to harmonic and safe and stable things at this time. And I feel like many of you feel that life has given you a little, or what is that in English? It's called lærepenge in Norwegian. Lesson. Many of you feel like life has given you quite some lesson. And that many of you might have realized the truth about something. And this should be a time where you should be careful about not keeping your promises. Because this time you might create a lot of problems for yourself and even others. There is someone that you should say no to because you had said yes to someone else. And by not doing that, you can lose someone very dear to you, because nobody wants a liar or someone that never keeps their word. If you rely on someone and love someone around you, whether that's a friend, family member, whatever, and you regardless is not keeping your promises, but you are depending on them to keeping their promises, this time you should not do that. Because if you're not keeping your promises, you cannot expect anybody else to keep their promises either, That go both ways. You can't expect and that can be Aries' negative sides sometimes, that they expect themselves to, oh, sorry, I didn't keep my word, but I need you to keep your word. Or when I call you, I expect you to pick up the phone immediately when I call. But when you call me, I never do that. That kind of mindset is a clear warning about now in February. And be careful about having limited thoughts about yourself, because you are capable of so much. You are so smart. You have this energy, drive. Your planet is Mars. Mars is the warrior planet, the energy planet, the planet that makes you, that go energy. Go, go, go. And yes, as I said, sometimes Aries can be like the little child, only seeing their own fingers, and the outside world doesn't matter because they are been taken care of anyway. But this is the time for you to actually grow up, and you will find a lot of joy if you just try to not focus so much on yourself and have this selfish mindset, because we all have to focus on ourselves healthy wise, but not this me energy all the time, because it might be someone around you now that is thinking, oh, you is always asking me to be there for you and expect me to be there wherever you call out and need something. But when I make plans or call out to you, you're never there. Or you promise to come, but you don't come. That kind of behavior might be very, very, very bad to have at this time. And I feel like many of you will have this mindset been taken away a little bit, and now finally feel the need to take care of yourself in a healthy way and take care of others. And this is very good for you this month, Aries. But remember, not to lie, not to promise things you can't keep, and not plan something that you don't know. If you don't know, say you don't know. Don't say yes tomorrow 6 o'clock and not show up 6 o'clock, That is a behavior that you need to be careful about in the month of February, because as I said, the good will come back to you in a later time. Every good deed, every good plans, every thing you do now for your future will be very good to do. But that goes for the bad things as well. I can't say that enough to you because I feel it's so strong. You have many wait. Yeah, you have many major arcana cards out now. So this is a time where you shape your destiny, and what you do will come back to you big time. And as I said, there will be a lot of you that is finally finding the joy by taking care of others and give others and give the people you love nourishment and help, and it will come back to you. Many of you will learn that you have thought that being selfish and just only thinking about yourself is the thing you need to do to survive, and things go well for you. But this time, many of your Aries signs will learn that by not being like that, but giving and reaching out and help others, people, and take advice from others, work with others in groups, and so on, that actually is the thing that will take care of you more than being selfish and one-minded about yourself. And I feel like you have someone around you that might be your karma or your test your karma and your values. This might be a Leo, Taurus, Aquarius, or Scorpio. But it doesn't have to be. It can be someone that is very living in the moment and helping you to learn to live in the moment also, because they might give you a little bit of enlightenment and competition. Success, maybe someone around you is dragging you out of your sofa and take you, saying to you, oh, come on, let's go on this trip and have fun. Not sit home and just focus and be in your head. Come out, travel with me. And this person might have a little bit give you this feeling of freedom, life, They might help you to see the ultimate thing of everything. You have someone around you, Aries, that you might not even give credit as much as you should, because there is someone around you. It can be your mother, your father, your friend, a family member. There is someone there that can give you a lot of enlightenment and help show you nirvana and success, and how to live in the moment. It might be a earth sign, but and I feel like you have this freedom feeling by involving yourself and go outside your head and take care of people around you and be with people around you. This will give you a more feeling of freedom, enlightenment, and happiness, you know. And there will might be some endings around you, but these endings might be for your best interest at the end, you know. That this might be your karmic lesson. That there is something, I feel for many of you Aries, this might be something around you. Someone or some few of you might have ended a relationship or a partnership to someone, you know, something like that. And that is because you karmic, not because that person might be a bad person, but you didn't involve and get this enlightenment with this person, because you know there is something you need to learn before you, that you need to learn in this life, that you was blocking your way, you know. Not because they are a bad person, or they might not even have done something wrong, but they stopped you from involve and have your life lessons and enlightenment, you know. This alpha omega. But this ending will make something, make a new beginnings. It's not like everything has ended because of that ending. That ending is the start of something new. So don't be discouraged, Aries. And you need to love yourself for who you are and take care of your body. And there is someone around you that will learn how to, how can I put it, let you know what your mission is, on what you're doing on this earth, you know. Seek your inner truth and about outer happenings. As I said, that you now at this moment, if you're not already doing that, should take care of the people you love and have this group mentality. It will bring you, many of you, a lot of joy, and it will be helpful, and everything you plan and do with that energy will be helping you in the future big time. It will come back to you big time. And the advice you are getting is to trust your faith, trust that there is something more in this life than what you see, taste, and feel, you know. Maybe some of you at this time will have beginning to feel like there's more about this earth than just what you see and feel and taste and hear, you know. And many of you will in this February month be put through a test. There will be a lot of new opportunities, but remember the law about what comes up must come down, you know. What you seed is sow is what you harvest. And have this observation about yourself, about this repeated way of being, you know. And this might be a time where you should not try your luck too much and have trust in what's good. And have this motion, not sit still. And many of you might have this realization that nothing is a coincidence at this time. And at this now in February, many of your Aries signs, Sun, Moon, and Rising, will meet your reality as you have created it. Have that in mind. So keep a steady focus, even when everything seems chaotic or temporary. Try to stay focused, and your opportunity to expand above the time's limitations. You know, it's an invite to be a human being, you know, to be this things enigma. And I feel like some of you are waiting to be judged or afraid to be judged, and that is keeping you and making you having these limitations or this mindset that is not good for you. That many of you might discover yourself in this period of time. If you do what I have told you and advised you now, it will be a time where you discover yourself and will have a lot of wake-up calls, you know, and that you will discover yourself in a new way. And this can be as easy as it can be hard, you know, change and transformation. You know, listen to your inner voice, your conscious, your conscious about everything, as I said. If you are lying a lot or not keeping your promises, let your conscious guide you. If that makes you feel bad and you're still doing that, you are not just letting someone else's down, you are letting yourself down too. But you are creating this energy for yourself. You know, you are the one that it gets hurt the most. You are that have to pay the biggest lessons by doing that, you know. So listen to your inner voice, your conscious, and learn to receive constructive criticism. Accept yourself as you are, but be careful about judging other people as well as yourself. And be careful about too much guilt feelings, because, you know, if you have a reason to be guilty, sort it out. Do something, you know. Do this motion, as I told you, by not sitting still. Say you're sorry. Say just things that you know that you can keep. And if you can't keep them because of some outside reasons, you know, that is the time where you say, I'm sorry, I couldn't show up now, but that wasn't my fault, but I will try again tomorrow or next time or whatever. Don't take things for granted at this time, Aries. So have this forgiveness mind. And this might be a time where you discover that yourself, Aries, is your mother and father to your inner child. And this might be a time to have this responsibility, this feeling about responsibility. You know, there might be an angel or some helper that's trying to tell you something important around you, that there is a message for you that is very important. I got a sight. Oh my God, I don't know if I should say that, because I try to keep my readings at the most positive and have constructive criticism. But I try, should I say it or should I not say it? Let me put it like this, Aries. You know, everything good you do now, if you lose someone in your life, what is the feelings you are left with? Bad conscience? Or knowing that you did everything to let that person know that you love them? You know, you're conscious this time. Oh my God. For some of you, you know, tomorrow might be too late to make everything right. So try to do it right the first time. Try to have a conscience, because tomorrow it might be too late. That is the best way I can put it to you. So cooperate with others to get on with your own growth and discovering and, you know, development. You know, regretting about something from the past that you didn't have make to do right. It's this feeling I get that don't forget to forgive yourself too, but do it better. If there's something that you have a bad conscience about, do it the right thing. Because tomorrow it might be too late. And who is going, if someone dies tomorrow that you have not been good to, you have lied to them or deceived them or whatever the reason is, if they die tomorrow, the only one that is left with the conscience and the guilty feeling is yourself. And you have to forgive yourself because you didn't get the forgiveness from that person. And that is something people should think about, you know, because there is only one thing that's sure about this life, and that is you're going to die. You're born and you're going to die. That's the thing that is certain. And when someone else dies, you know, they get peace. But you are left with the memories. So make sure that the memories are good and that you don't have this guilty conscience about something, you know. You know, yesterday has already happened. Tomorrow hasn't happened yet. But you have the now and all the power to do something about the now, today. So try to make amends if there's someone important to you, of course. And if you know that if you lost that person tomorrow, how is your conscience? Show the world at this time that you live what you learn. And try to be a little detective about your underlying motives, your own underlying motives, and others. This is a time in life where you might be tested a lot, and that you feel that you are that it's necessary to pass this test, you know. Now it's very important to be conscious about yourself and others. And this will be a time where you try to balance this a lot. Very, very, very interesting reading. And as I always do, should I do... No, I will stop that because it's almost an hour now. So that is finished. So good luck, Aries. Love and light. Merry meet, merry part, merry meet again.